Have you ever wondered if the way you think is normal? We move through the world assuming our internal landscape, the way we process, reason, and feel, is a standard model shared by everyone. But what if the most profound differences between us aren't in how we act, but in the unseen architecture of our thoughts? Some minds don't advertise their uniqueness through visible behavior. Their difference is quieter, a set of internal habits running in the background, subtly coloring every perception, every conclusion we draw. These aren't flaws. They are simply different operating systems for experiencing reality. Let's explore a few of these patterns. The first is a kind of selective vision. It's like standing before a masterpiece, but your gaze is fixed on a single tiny imperfection. This is a habit where the mind learns to filter out the positive. You might receive feedback that is 99% praise, but the 1% critique becomes the entire story. The good parts don't just feel smaller, they almost cease to exist in your memory of the event. It's a lens that darkens the world, not by adding shadows, but by systematically subtracting light, making a pessimistic view feel less like a choice and more like an obvious conclusion. There's a particular sting to this feeling, when a single drop of criticism seems to poison the entire well of accomplishment. It's a familiar ache for some, the weight of that one negative detail overshadowing everything else. Then there is a way of seeing the world in stark black and white. With this pattern, there are no shades of grey. A project is either a complete unqualified success, or it is an utter failure. A day is either perfect, or it is a total disaster. This kind of rigid binary thinking leaves no room for nuance, for learning, for the simple reality of being human. It sets an impossible standard where anything less than perfection feels like falling from a cliff. We might recognize this in the pressure we put on ourselves, the sense that a single misstep invalidates the entire journey. That feeling of standing on a razor's edge between two extremes, with no safe ground in between. A third pattern is how the mind can take one single event and turn it into a universal law. One difficult job interview becomes proof that you will never get hired. A single rejection becomes a sign that you are always destined to be alone. The mind takes one piece of data and builds an entire limiting narrative around it, closing doors to future possibilities before they've even appeared. It's a strange kind of mental math, where 1 + 1 = infinity. The echo of a single setback that seems to reverberate through all future attempts, creating a story that feels true, even if it's built on the foundation of a single moment. These patterns are just the surface currents. They are common, powerful, and often operate just beyond our notice. But they are also just the beginning. The deeper we go, the more we find that these habits are not isolated. They are part of a much larger, more intricate web that shapes our reality from the inside out. There are architectures of thought built inside each of us, quiet landscapes that no one else can ever fully see. We navigate their terrain every day, often guided by subtle currents we don't consciously feel. We may believe we hold a perfect map, that we understand the true origin of every choice, every impulse, every feeling. Think about the powerful feeling of absolute certainty. The conviction that you know precisely why you feel a certain way, or why you chose a particular path. This clarity feels like truth. But often it's a story we compose in hindsight, a brilliant logical narrative for an impulse that came from somewhere far deeper. We accept our own inner narrative as fact, while perhaps viewing the self-explanations of others as less reliable. That deeper place is vast and constantly at work. It's a part of the mind that operates without needing our permission, making thousands of tiny judgments on our behalf. It's the instinct that pulls your hand from a hot surface before you've registered the burn. It's the sudden, unexplainable sense about a person or a situation. A feeling that arrives fully formed, without a list of pros and cons. This system is ancient and incredibly efficient. But it means a significant portion of what we call choice is shaped just outside the beam of our focused awareness. And because that awareness is a finite and precious resource, we can become so consumed by the world outside. A deadline, a conversation, a screen, that we fail to notice the signals from the world within. Just as you can look directly at something and not truly see it, you can carry a feeling all day and not truly acknowledge it. A low hum of anxiety can be drowned out by the noise of a busy day. The same self-reflection that can lead to incredible insight, compassion, and growth can also, if held too tightly, become a spiral of rumination. The search for clarity can sometimes lead us into a hall of mirrors, where every reflection is a critique. This isn't a failure of the process. It is the very nature of it. To look at oneself is to hold two opposing possibilities in your hands at once. These internal mechanics, the compelling stories we tell ourselves, the unseen currents that guide us, the quiet signals we miss, and the delicate paradox of looking inward. These are not flaws. They are not errors in a system that was meant to be simple. They are simply variations in the intricate silent work of being a person. To think differently is not to think incorrectly. It is merely to be a landscape that has not yet been fully mapped, even by the one who lives there. And there is a profound clarity, a quiet confidence in knowing that territory is, and always will be, uniquely your own.